I am coming to you from the Villages, Florida this evening, and I do not have the camera on me. I have it on my desk, so hopefully you pop on. Just leave me a comment and let me know that you're there, and we'll get started here in a few minutes. I'm waiting for those to pop on. Let me just check real quick and make sure I am on the right page. It's been quite warm here in Florida. It got up in the 80s and it was so hot I thought I had to turn the air conditioner on. So I know that y'all out west don't want to hear that, or up north, that's for sure. But there, they're coming through slowly but surely. Hey Judy, how are you? Okay. Pardon me. At least I know I'm in the right spot so I don't have to go on this other iPad. So that's good. I've got another, actually I have kind of two fun fold cards. One's a gift card. I'm doing another fun fold. I just love doing fun fold cards. So we will start in, give me a minute here. We'll start here in just a few minutes. I don't have the camera on me tonight, and I hate doing that, but I've been busy all day and I didn't put any makeup on, and so I just felt like I didn't want to show my face, but it doesn't matter. It's all good. Hi Patricia, how you doing? But we'll get started here in just a few minutes. Actually, yeah, let's wait one more minute. I know people are slow popping in, so we'll start. I don't want to hold you all up either. I think it's important for us to start on time. And I've got to get some lighting. I noticed that I see shadows, and I had gotten an estimate from an electrician to put some small, I don't know what they are, bulb lights or whatever up top, and I really didn't want to spend the money, but I think I'm going to have to because the shadows drive me crazy. We'll go ahead and get started, but first, while we're waiting, I'll go ahead and share that. I'm sure that you have, if you haven't heard, I'm sure you have or have read, that we are in our celebration mode, which is January through March 31st of this year. So for every $50 that you spend, you get to choose an item from our catalog, our celebration catalog, for free. And if you spend $100, then there's another level of items that you can get from that brochure as well. So if you're on and don't have a demonstrator that you're working with and you would like to have a catalog, let me know. I'll be more than happy to send one to you. And the other thing that we always do during celebration is run a recruiting special. So if you're interested in joining Stampin' Up, and you can do it two ways. One, you can do it as a demonstrator and hold classes, or you can just do it as what we call a discount shopper, so that you get a 20% discount on your purchases, and then that amount will increase based on your sales going forward. And I can talk with you about ways that you can get additional sales without holding classes. But one of the things, or two of the things that you get, so for $99, you get to choose $125 in product, and you get to choose anything that you want for the $125. And this year they're offering this little tiny, I shouldn't say tiny, it's a 6-inch, it's a 4-inch here, paper cutter, but it's like a guillotine. So it's really good for making small cuts, like if you're doing labels and things where you want to have a small cut to it. And then the other thing that you're getting is you're getting a paper share. Look at this, of all the papers in the mini catalog. So this is, let me pull it down so you can see it. You're getting some of the Bonanza buddies. You're getting the golfing ones that are good for masculine, or if you have golfers, the tropical. You're getting the dress to impress with the purses and the shoes and the lipstick. And that's, you're getting, of course, the Poppy Parade, which are beautiful flowers. I wasn't sure I was going to like them. And then this is free paper right here that you can get from Celebration. This is the Lily Pad Impressions, and this is free with a $50 order. And we've made some cards with this, absolutely stunning. And then this is the back side. So you get these papers that's added in to that. This is, the two of these are about a $27 value. So, and then on top of that, you get to choose a stamp set of your choice, no matter what the cost is, out of the catalog. So I think that's a good deal. You're actually getting about $75, $80 worth of free product, and they pay your shipping. Only thing you got to pay is your sales tax. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. I'll be more than happy to give you more information on that as well. I think it's a great deal to consider. If you order enough, it makes sense to get a discount for yourself. Me, when I started, I was working in an office as a loan officer, and I had a lady that used to bring make cards and little gifts and things, and I never seen stuff like that because I always shopped at Hallmark. And she told me that she made all this stuff. So make a long story short, I got introduced to a lady that taught classes. So I started taking her classes, and every month you were required to order $25 in product, and then you got the class for free. So I did that for about 8 months, and I stopped and thought, you know what? If I'm going to pay her $25 a month, I might as well order for myself and get my own discount. So I joined with no intentions of teaching classes or running this like a business. And here I am 9 years later, it'll be 9 years next month, that I've been doing Stampin' Up, and I absolutely love it. And I tell you, you meet a lot of people. It's therapy. I teach classes at my house as well as in some of the rec centers here in the villages, and do online classes as well. So anyways, enough of that sales pitch, but I just wanted to throw that out there so that you would, if it's something you think you might be interested in and you spend enough money, you know, you might take advantage of getting the discount. If not, then that's fine. You know, if you don't have a demonstrator that you're working with, I'll be more than happy to work with you. Now, I'd love to help you if I can. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I do want to mention that the name that I drew last week was Catherine Cooper. So Catherine, if you're on or you come on and watch the replay, please reach out to me and let me know your address so I can send you a goodie package in the mail. I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, so what we're going to do this evening, I'm going to show you 2 cards. This is one card that I made, and I copied this from another demonstrator, Wendy Cranford, and she is a top demonstrator with Stampin' Up. And this is a gift card, but it's also, let me zoom in just a little bit. This is a gift card, but the neat thing is she's got this way that she's made this little closure here, and you open it up and then there's your gift card. Okay, so this is what we're going to make. Now what I've done, she used the new show you because I don't have them, I haven't ordered them yet, but she used the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and this is on page 20 of the mini catalog. These dies they do scallops around as well, and they do stitching, but she used I think it was this die here, and she used that to cut out, and I'll show you how to place it on your die cutting plate to get the closure and then the piece to where it's going to lock into. Okay, but I'm using since I didn't have that, I'm using the Crafting Friends Forever, I think Crafting Forever, and this is the dies that come with that arts and crafts. And I'm using this die here to create my closure. And I'm going to show you what I did. Excuse me. So this is the card that we're going to make first. And then I've got another fun fold that I'll show you when we get done with this one. So I'm going to push that off to the side. And let me get my materials out. And hang on one second. I forgot to get my pick tool. Hang on 1 minute. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to cut your cardstock. And I've already done this because it's a little bit... And I will tell you, it can be a little bit of a challenge, but you're just going to, I had to do it like 3 times to get it right. But the first thing that you want to do is you want to get your die, and you're going to place it on your die cutting plate. So let me grab the die, and we're going to pretend we haven't cut this thing, okay? So we're going to lay this, so your paper actually is going to be like this, right? So you're going to lay the die so it goes right to the end. Can you see that? You're going to load the die, center it, and it's going to go right to the edge of your paper. All right, now I've already cut mine, so you would just pretend that this is still here. So you're going to put the die here with your paper, right? And then you're going to put some washi tape to hold it down, because this is where it gets a little tricky, trying to get this through the big shot without cutting the part that you don't want it to cut, okay? So we're going to act like we still have our paper to here, correct? And then you're going to run this through your die cutting machine, but you only want to run it up to wherever you think, you know, as much of the closure piece that you want. So this paper is at 4 1/4 by 11. When I run this through the die machine, now what you'll do is you're going to lay it on your paper, right? On your clear plate, and then you're going to place this one right where you want it to cut. So let's just say that's where I want it to cut, right here by this edge. So you'll run it through, and then it's going to cut this here, and then all I had to do was take my paper snips and just snip out just a little bit here to get maybe a 1/2 inch of paper of the cardstock off, okay? So that's what creates your closing mechanism. Now, I will tell you, it can be a little tricky because you have to hold the plates and try to get it through the die cutting machine without it slipping. So I will tell you it's a little bit of a challenge, but once you do it a couple of times, then it becomes a little bit easier. Take it from me, I did it. Okay, so then you're going to flip it around, and now what we want to do is we just want this little thing right here. So when we fold our card, our flap's going to go in there, right, and it's going to lock in. So you'll do the same thing. You're going to place your die in the center, and this time you're going to place it, well, we're actually going to do it like this, right, because we don't want it to cut. We just want this piece right here cut. So let's say we're going to lay it right here, and I'm going to hold this down so you can see with the tape. And then all you want to do here, now when you fold your card, before you do this, you're going to get an idea of where you need to have the hole for your flap to go through. So you want to lay that there, and then when you run this through the die cutting machine, you only want probably from that little edge where it pokes out. And again, it's going to depend on the type of die that you want to use to make for your closure. And the one that Wendy used, those sweet stitched So Sweet dies, they worked perfectly. So you're just going to line this up right about, in this case I line mine right to this little edge right here, and then you're going to run it through the Big Shot, so it's, your die cutting machine, so it's only going to cut right here, so it's not going to cut this, so you don't want to go any further than this spot right there, okay? Now if you're a beginner stamper, this is not something that you want to do, okay? So if you're just learning how to create greeting cards, don't attempt to do this. This is for a little bit more experience. Now you can try, but this is really designed, I think, for more experienced people. This part of the card, the other part's pretty easy. All right, I hope that makes sense. So if you have questions, just go back and watch this again, but this should show you how you need to run it through through your die cutting machine. The biggest challenge that I had was to hold this in place so it doesn't move, to get it through so it cuts this piece right here. All right, so that's how I made our cutting piece for this piece of cardstock. So I'm going to move this off, and that's why I did it prior to going live, because I knew I wouldn't be able to get it the first time. Okay, so let me move these out of the way. I'm going to put those over there. All right, so this is how our card's going to close, right? So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to use some of the Bonanza, Bonanza Buddies, I think it is, paper. It's the ones that have the birds, and it has the koalas and all sorts of little cute little animals. So you're going to cut a piece of cardstock for this section right here, which is going to be cut at 2 3/4 by 4 1/8, and that's going to lay right here. And you want to get it so your mechanism is not blocking that, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. So I had to write my measurements on there. 2 3/4 by 4 1/8. So we'll go ahead and attach this, and we'll place that right here. Bear with me. I want to get it right on the edge because I know I'm a little close on that closing mechanism. Hopefully. Whoops, hang on a minute. I have to stand up. Sitting down, I need a little bit higher stool. All right, so let me just get that on here. It really is a fun card once you get it done. Okay, so we're going to put that. We're going to cut a piece of this is the koalas, but I'm going to use the back side. And this piece is cut at 2 1/2 by 4. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this item here along with these cute little pieces. I don't know, they're just different like little sequins, but they're not really shiny like sequins. This and a piece of the roll of Bermuda Bay is another item you can get for free with a $50 purchase through Celebration. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this around, and I'm going to tie a bow. So give me a minute to do that. Let me cut this off, and then we'll get it tightened down. And it really, once you get the cardstock cut and get your locking mechanism done, it's really an easy card. All right, so I'm just going to hold my finger on the knot and pull my little bows, my loops down, and then just pull it a little tighter. Okay. All right, so that's that sheet there. All right, so there's our bow. Let me pull this. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and attach this to the front part of the card. And you can use whatever paper you like. I just wanted to use that this side because it's got the same coordinating colors as the Bermuda Bay. Let me just pull this out just a little bit. There. All right, so we're just going to make a little border. And then this over here, we're going to do a piece of Bermuda Bay at 1 3/8 by 4 1/8. So we're going to go ahead and add that down. That's 1 3/8 by 4 1/8. You like how I write it on the back of my stuff so that way I can remember. So we're going to put that right. Whoops, you know what? That one's a little too big. I'm going to have to just trim that one down. Oh, look, I have my handy little trimmer here. So let's trim this down. I'm just going to probably cut 1/8 or so off, not much. And I've already got adhesive on it, so it might stick. So let's see. Hang on a second. Let's see if we can get this in here. Yeah, he's wanting to stick to the thing. All right, let's get that on here. And I'm going to trim probably about 1/8 off, just to be on the safe side. This is a cute little trimmer. It's a little guillotine. And it really it's pretty sharp. So I'm assuming it's probably like the old one that we used to have. I still use it. And it probably self-sharpens itself, most likely. So we're going to put that right on there. Okay. And I guess that means I'm going to have to cut my birds down, doesn't it? Well, it's got this little plastic thing. I don't know if y'all have seen this. It's a little clear plastic thing like we have that you can hold down so your paper doesn't shift. And sometimes you've just got to work to get that pulled up. So I'm just going to I'm going to try to cut just a little bit more off. And I'll readjust these measurements. But once you fold your card, and you'll see how it works. Okay. Oh, and that was the other thing. All right, so let's throw this away, and let's put this guy. He should go on there now. Yeah. So we just had to do a little trim, and that's all. Not too bad. So this is probably going to be like 1 1/8 or so. So we're just going to put these little guys on here, and just hopefully we get enough of an edge that you can see the Bermuda Bay. Yeah, I think that's good. All right, and then the next thing we're going to see, this is really pretty easy once you get started. Let me get my bow tightened up a little bit here. And then we're going to do a sentiment, and we're going to do a birthday one. So let me grab we're going to use the story label punch. We're going to stamp our sentiment, and I'm just going to use the happy birthday. And that is I'm going to stamp the happy birthday. I'm going to leave this out because I'm going to use that. And this one, so I'm going to punch this, and then we're going to add some of those little sequensy things to it and kind of dress it up. All right, so we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of this because we want to pop it up. This is the inside piece. Now, this is a Whisper White. This is 1.5 inches by 4.5, and this is going to be where we put right down here because this is where we're going to make this into a gift card. But I'm going to stamp this first. And I brought adhesive snail, but my recommendation would be to use tear and tape on that so that way it doesn't pull up. Now I've pulled the dots out of the Dress to Impress stamp set, these little dots here, and I'm just going to stamp the card, the front of the card with these little dots just to give it, and I'm just going to do it randomly just to get some decoration on here. So it'll take just a minute. And you use tear and tape. The only thing we're going to do is we're going to place adhesive on both ends and along the bottom. So I'm just going to put some adhesive right here, and then down at the bottom. And I'm only doing it like halfway. I've got my snail going on to my craft mat so that it doesn't stick. All right. So then we're just going to place this at the bottom of our card. We'll use our Petco Pals card. So once you have it in there, then this just slides right in. But that's why you want to use tear and tape, because that's going to hold it in. If you use snail, it's probably not going to hold it as well. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to finish up. So we're going to take our, all right, so we're going to place that right about there. Now these again are free in the Celebration catalog. So we're going to take that, and I've got my pick tool. And we're just gonna put a couple of little dots of glue. I hope you can see this. And I'm just gonna put a little white dot there, just where I want to put these little decorations. And that is our card. So see how those little dots just dress it up. And then this will close. Make sure those are dry. This will go into there, and that's the locking mechanism. And then you open up the card, and there is your Petco, your gift card. So it's really it's really an easy card. This right here is going to be the challenge, and I'm just telling you right now, but I just really like the way it was. So make sure that you leave me some comments if you like this card or not. I thought it was cute. And this is the other one I did with the, I used gray in the background with the koalas, and then this one I did with these, I guess they're toucan birds. So that's that card. If you put, okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that card. Now let's get to the next one. Let me move this stuff out of the way. This is one that I did. Now this again is using the same Bonanza Buddies. This one opens. You just it's again 4 1/4 by 11, and then it opens like that. Okay, the one we're gonna make. Here's the other one that I made, and then this one is using our 6x6 piece of. Well, I'm using the 6x6 piece from the paper share that I did get that when I purchased the paper trimmer. And then it will open this way. So there's the difference, okay? So this is what we're going to make today. Now this one, and I want your opinion when we get done. This one has a piece of vellum on top. And we're using the 6x6 tropical. Now let me show you what we did. So see how we did our envelope on our card? So you remember you have to always decorate. And when you use a 6x6 piece of paper, this is a great way that you can use up your paper and not have any scraps left over. So I'm going to show you how we do that too. So here's the envelope that goes with our card. Isn't that gorgeous? So just think whoever gets this in the mail is going to see that and go, oh my goodness. So this one, we're going to make the same card, but I'm not going to put the vellum cardstock on it. I put that on this. It kind of smooths out the brightness. It kind of does a little dull. So I'm going to do the other one without the vellum, and then you all tell me which one that you like best or better. So we are using Lovely Lipstick, and this paper, let me move my stuff out of the way. All right, so again, this is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and then you're going to score it at, and if you can see, it's 2 3/4 on each end, okay? So we're going to cut it at 4 1/4 by 11, and then score at 2 3/4 on both ends. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So there's our card base. And since I'm going to use this piece of tropical paper, I just think it's lovely. And I'm going to use Very Vanilla since it's got the yellow in the background. I'm going to use Very Vanilla. So I'm going to pull the paper trimmer out, and we're going to trim this down. So this is a 6x6, and this is what I was saying, that this is how you can use up your paper by decorating your envelopes. So we're going to take this paper, and we're going to cut off 2.5 inches bottom. So we're going to cut that down. Now this is the piece that we're going to use, and it's got pineapples on the back. We're going to use this to decorate our envelope, and we'll do that in just a moment. And then this piece we're going to use, but we're going to turn this, and we want to cut it down. So I know I need to cut off 1 1/4. And this is probably going to be the only piece that you're going to have left over that we're not using. All right, so let me move that out of the way. So let's get our envelope. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll knock that out first. All you want to do, and you've probably done this before, just put adhesive on the back of your flap of your envelope. Come right along the edge of the fold, and just put adhesive right along that, okay? Then you're just going to place your paper down. Oh, if it has a direction, obviously you want to make sure it's going that way, but this one really doesn't have a direction. It can go either way. But I'm going to put it like this. So you just want to lay it on here right up to the edge of the bend where it folds, and then lay it down. Okay, and then all you're going to do, trim this up with your paper snip. So we're just going to trim around, and you could have put the pineapples on there if you wanted, but I wanted it to all coordinate. So we're just going to trim around the outside edges of the envelope, and I'm sure that this is not something new, but it's just a reminder. This is how you can use up, and especially with some of our paper stacks that are coming out in the 6x6, this is a great way that you can use that whole sheet of 6x6. So this is all we have left in that little scrap right here, okay? And then there is our envelope. Isn't that gorgeous? So we're going to set that off to the side. All right, so now we're going to come over here, and this is how our card's going to go. So we are going to hang on one second. This is my inside piece, but we're going to color that, so we're not going to put that on there yet. So this piece right here should be 3 3/4 by 5. And then we're going to attach that to a piece of Very Vanilla, and that is 3.5 by, the DSP is 4 3/4 by 3.5. This is 3 3/4 by 5. And we're going to place that right on top of here and just give it a real tiny edge. Now, if you want more of the vanilla, then you can just trim it down a little bit. But attach this, and it's going to have a little bit of an edge around it. Now we're going to use our new Daffodil Delight crinkled ribbon. So we're going to take this and we're going to wrap it around. We're going to wrap it around twice. We're in a class the other week. One of my neighbors decided, I don't have too many of my neighbors haven't come to my classes, just a few. And I got to turn it this way so I can see. But one of the ladies wanted to come, and she had never stamped before, which is fine. But she was trying to be perfectionist. She was trying to line everything up so it was exact. And I had to tell her, you can't do that because it will drive you crazy. So you just have to remember that the card that you're making and the person receiving it has no idea what it's supposed to look like. So she finally, after the second card, finally got it through her brain that she didn't need to focus on it because it was driving her crazy. So we were there about 45. I was at one of our rec centers and I was there about 45 minutes longer than I should have been, but it's fine. They didn't say anything, so I was okay. I wasn't going to sweat it out. Wasn't going to worry about it. Okay, so we have our ribbon on our cardstock. And then, let me move this out of the way. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to stamp our sentiment. And on this one, oh, this is what I was going to show you. You don't even know what we're using. This is the Timeless Tropical set. Isn't this gorgeous? This obviously reminds me, and probably everybody in like Hawaii, right? These lei flowers. So we're going to use the May Your Birthday Be Memorable. And these are cling stamps, so obviously they're not going to go anywhere. And we are going to stamp that. And then this also, if you want to purchase this as a bundle, it does come with 13 dies. Look at these dies. Look at this. You can do an actual pineapple. Look at that. There's the bottom of the pineapple, and there's the top part, and it's got aloha. This is a small pineapple right here, a couple of leaves, and then the flowers that you can cut out, the small and big, and then the palm trees. So I think this is really a cute, especially for those of us that live where it's tropical, like I live in Florida. But this is the stamp set that we're using. So I'm going to use the May Your Birthday Be Memorable, and I'm going to stamp that in Lovely Lipstick ink. And then we are going to punch this one out with the Story Label punch, which is the one that I initially pulled out. So we've got that, and I'm going to close this up and put that over on my tray. All right, and then my punch is the Story Label. So we're just going to go ahead and place that in there and get it lined up. Punch that out. That's one thing about the punches. They just make things so quick and easy. Don't you agree? Next thing we're going to do is we are going to punch another label out of the Lovely Lipstick. And we're going to put this on a backing to the back of our sentiment. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take our paper snips and just cut up the center. And then we're going to kind of do a fake, and I'm sure y'all have done this before too. So we're just going to do a little fakey, make it look like it was meant to be like this. So I just put some adhesive on the back, and then I'm just going to lay it and try to line it up so we have a little bit of a border going around that side. And then we're going to put some on here and line that up as well. And there you go. We have our sentiment that's backed by the Lovely Lipstick. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. See, I told you these cards are really, this is an easy card, and it's so beautiful. I just absolutely love it. And we're going to put some dimensionals on here. Now, the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take my, and inside is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'll put that on in just a minute. But on this one, I'm going to stamp the large flower, which I did not put on a block, so bear with me. I'm sorry, the small flower. We're going to use this small flower. I tell you, the cling, we wanted cling, but sometimes the cling can be a little too clingy, don't you think? But I'm not going to complain. That's for sure. All right, so let me just take this off of here. I do love the fact that they don't fall off anymore, because that can be so frustrating, All right, so we're going to put him on there. Now I'm going to stamp. I always try to decorate the inside of my card. So I'm going to stamp this in Memento Black, and I'm just going to stamp it down in the right corner. And then we're going to color with the blends. And this isn't going to take very long because it's not much to color. And I am using the Lovely Lipstick Light and Dark. And then I'm also using the petal pink, and I'm bringing in our color lifter because I want to get a little bit lighter. Because see how these flowers, see how they're light? They've got the lovely lipstick, but they're more pinker on the edges. So I was trying to do that on the other card. So that's what we're going to try to do. That's what we're going to try to accomplish. And then we'll put everything together. Now, again, I'm sure you've heard this too. There's no right or wrong way. I'm going to start with my dark. I'm going to come into the center where the artist has placed these lines, and I'm just going to go over those. So I'm just going to use my the dark lovely lipstick, and I'm just going to cover where the artist has drawn these darker lines. Okay, so I'm just going to follow what they've done, and then we'll just come back with the lighter color, and then we'll blend these in. All right, and then we'll come back, and I think I'm going to start with, I'm going to do a little bit of the light, and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to go with the light, and then I'm going to take my color lifter, and this is if you go outside of the lines, but I'm going to take this because I want to pull some of this color right here. It seems a little dark, so I'm just going to try to lift some of that up in the center, and just pull it up just a little bit. I don't think it'll be so harsh looking. All right, so that's what we're going to do for the inside of our card. So all right, so I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the inside. I'm not going to put a sentiment yet. I'm just going to wait. Well, hi, Sue Slater. How are you? Riley is fine. She's laying in here on the floor. It's my dog. All right, so we're going to, since we haven't done anything yet, we're going to go ahead and place this on here. And this will be the bottom of our card. So this will be our top right here. All right. So let's finish this up. So we're going to go ahead and attach our sentiment. Now this one doesn't have that cardstock vellum. So now since this is going to be the top of our card, then we are going to add adhesive back of our card. So if I want my card like this, right, then I only want to put adhesive. So I'm only going to put adhesive right where I have that piece of Daffodil Delight ribbon. I'm just going to put some adhesive from that point up. There is our card. What do you think about that? Now, look at that one and tell me which one you like better. Do you like the one with the vellum, which is this one? It's a little bit more muted. Or this one, which is extremely bright. So that is what we did this evening, is make these two wonderful cards, these fun folds. So again, this one has the vellum cardstock. And then this one is without. I kind of like this one. This one is much brighter, obviously. And then here is our envelopes that will be gorgeous when you mail these cards out, right? And then we have our other envelope right here. So we have our matching coordinating envelopes to go with our cards. Isn't that beautiful? And then the other one that we did was turning it sideways, and we're using the Bonanza Buddies, and we're going to open it like that. And then we have our coordinating envelope with that as well. There you go. And if you have any questions or need anything, please reach out to me. And if you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to earn your business and be your demonstrator for you. And if you don't have a catalog, I'll be more than happy to send you one. So just Facebook message me or leave me an email or what have you. And one way that you can help me is you can, I made a little note here of things that you can do to help me boost my rankings, and that is to share this video, make a comment, post share it with a friend, post it. Let me see what else I put on here. Oh, Facebook, like my Facebook page. That always helps. Tag a friend, and if you can also leave me a review. That would be marvelous. And that helps when Facebook does their ranking thing, so that kind of helps me move up in the rankings, if you will. So I hope that you all enjoyed these cards. Please leave me a comment on this one especially. I do want to get your opinion on which one you like. And don't forget to use up your 6x6 or any of your designer series paper. So instead of hoarding it, use this. So with that, I will see you next week. I think next Tuesday, I think I'm going to do a one-sheet wonder. And for those of you that don't know what that is, then you need to stay tuned. So I'll see you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Thank you all for joining me this evening, and I'll talk to you soon.